And hello to all my Pisces friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for February 2023. Now today they've dialed up for my great Pisces a storyline spread. It's a great spread for general readings because it casts a very wide net across the entire sign of Pisces. It's like a bunch of mini readings all in one because we're going to be telling different stories for different Pisces. And they can be about anything. Anything Spirit wants to talk about here can propagate in the storyline spread. I've had people tell me that sometimes multiple stories do resonate with them, and that's okay if it does. But at the end of the day, the whole purpose here is finding the story that is right for you. We're going to find your home run one story that is right for you. That is the objective today. And we're also going to conclude your reading with something very fun. I love doing animal totems. They want me to do 2 animal totems for you guys. So we're going to be talking about a transition from one animal's characteristics into the next. Also going to conclude your reading with the runestone, which will bring the whole thing nicely together in this project that we call February. So let's get started, guys. Right now, the cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a bunch of time. What I'm going to do right now is bring you in my overhead view so you can watch. I like sharing my table with you, showing you what I'm working with. And we are on and recording. What I'm doing now, guys, these are my ritual cuts. Basically cutting each deck into thirds and then putting them back together in a separate order. That satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot, and it's the same procedure for personal private readings. So with any storyline spread, we start with 5 cards. These are your base core cards, and we expand out from there where we need to go. So here are your first 5. Almost all completely upside down and inverted, but we do got a stop order here because we have this individual facing back this way, even though he's upside down. So that brackets us off full stop. So that's actually going to be a shorter storyline setup here. My inverts are massive, so I am going to do a discard right now to see if that needs to be fixed. And Spirit basically says, no, we're going to leave it like that, at least for now. By the individual stories, we're going to look at discards there. But first, let me get my pairings together. We have here and a standalone there. So this is going to be one big story here. Shorter stories up top. I did kind of move the order around, but once we get them separated where they need to go, the main work is done. See if this is a person. It is not, but that's still going to stay to describe what is going on there. And then, like I said, this is going to be the big story down here. I'm going to try to make some room, get it all in view for you. If I do go off camera, I will move the camera around just to make sure you guys can see everything that's going on. Okay, so we have like major arcanas all over the place there, everything except that one. That kind of lets us know that could be about love there. That's going to be our big story number 3, guys. Stay tuned to that one. Holy moly. All right, so now every story is going to get an angel card, but first let me check the inverts one last time. Good distribution up top. Those are good. We have 1, 2, 3 upside down here. So this is actually going to stay the same way. It's good to go. So we are ready to roll, guys. Just make some room for myself, get those cards out of the way. Angel Oracle card for every story. And then we're ready to just make sure you can see it. We're good to go. All right, I'm going to yank this off of here. Make sure you can see. This is going to be story 1. We're going to come up here to story 2, which is going to give us a nice little segue here into moon cycles, which we will do after story 2. And then story 3, we're going to come back for your big story. I need to zoom all the way out like this for this one. Very long story, a lot of major arcana cards. That lets me know how big of a deal this is. Not so good about descriptors and information, but we're going to get what we can get done here. This is a general reading after all. If you're looking for personal private readings, I do offer those on my website, scottsagent.com. So let's get started here, guys. Okay, Pisces. Storyline. Okay, story 1, guys. Let's start there. Story 1 talks about getting over either a sickness or getting over a very mental trying thing, something that caused you a lot of stress, something that really caused you a lot of anxiety, really got to your nerves. Okay, here this is resolving in the month of February. That's a good start. Or, like I said, it could be physical sickness too. Sickness is represented by the same cards, and tarot is a language, and that basically means sickness. So whether you're sickness here, or whether you're sick up here, or even emotional sickness too, that's what they refer to here. It all kind of encapsulates into the same card. So that's what they talk about, and it being on an invert shows that you're in recovery mode. That's good. So if you have been sick, just know you're getting better. Same thing with all the different versions of sick, even the emotional trauma or the stressor trauma, the mental trauma. It's moving into a better place. They showed that really what is going on here is that there is a good kind of connectivity between spirit world and earth plane realm. Just the veil is very thin right here for my Pisces in the month of February, and that is creating a lot of good movement of energy between the two worlds. They do show that you're in a really peaceful spot with this too, so it does get very well improved. And I say peaceful, and they give us the peace card too. So here they're basically saying they want you to do what finds you peace. Do what you're cool about, what brings you calm, what you enjoy to do. In the card itself, it says peace comes from remembering that only love is real. And, that can be about what you love as well. But basically, I just kind of keep it simple. Finding peace, doing what you like to do, getting to a place here where, the connectivity is going to be so high. You guys are going to be so high vibration in February. You might as well use it to good uses, put it to use. What are you trying to attract? What are you trying to repel? What are you trying to get out of your life? What are you trying to bring in? All these kind of things. So story number 1 presents itself a simple theme, but they're showing how highly charged a lot of my Pisces are going to be here, especially those of you who are moving out of a sickness of some form. And that next card, it can also be a big purchase. I don't want to say that for everybody, but if you have a big purchase on the books, hey, maybe February is the time that you address it. You need to buy a car? Hey, February, what better time? They're saying big purchase, good connectivity going on there, and that can also be, big purchase with money. That's usually what, how we make our big purchases is with money, of course. So financial, and so it can really be both. It can be both at the same time, or it could be either one. In a general, very hard to do. Story 2, guys. Let's move into story 2. Strong start here for my Pisces. Story 2, we first talk about fast traveling news. This is very, very new stuff. Stuff that you maybe didn't expect to happen is happening in February, guys, very quickly too. Stuff that can come at you kind of from left field that you were never expecting. For some of you, they're letting me know that this could be about work, business, enterprise, area of study, collegiate courses, retirement if you're of that age, entrepreneurship, for most people, the JOB. Just fast traveling news. It's just like, hey, you got to go to training to get, this certification to get promoted or something like that. I never saw that coming. Well, here it is. It's fast traveling energy. And it doesn't really specify whether it's good or bad. Of course, I gave you the definition of good, but fast traveling news that's negative is like, oh, we hired a couple new employees and we got to cut your hours by like 10 hours a week. That would be like, whoa, didn't expect that either. That would be like the negative version of it. So it just means fast, basically, is what they're saying. So February comes at you quick here, Pisces. The next thing we show here is a message. It is my money messenger, and it's on a delay. So this information that I'm telling you probably isn't going to make a lot of sense to you right now because they're putting a time frame on it. Most people watch my videos early in the month. It's just statistics. And here they're saying late. So right now this might not make sense. You might have to come back after this starts to happen and unfold a little bit to get more of the pieces and the context to put together. So they're talking about later in February here. February, I would say, after Valentine's Day at some point through the end of the month. So what is this about? Well, it's about finances for a lot of people, which can apply to work as well. And here they're talking about really putting a lot of effort and pride into something. So you're putting your money into something that you really care about very deeply. It could be a hobby, it could be an interest, it could be repairs or projects to the house. All that kind of stuff presents itself here in story number 2. And that's a good thing to show, because if that card was reversed, they'd basically be saying, hey, you are not taking pride here. You are, letting your finances go to hell, or letting it go to shit. Whatever they're talking about here, they're basically not. They're saying you guys are doing a good job of this, and this is money well placed. And they're letting you know that this message about the money comes in later in February. The last clue they give us here is moon cycles, and they want you to notice how the moon cycles, especially if you're here in story 2, how these moon cycles affect what you're doing with your energy, the things that are happening in your life, the manifestations, and they want you to capitalize on these cycles. So what better time to tell you about those cycles than right now? Also got to tell you about the new gemstone in the store. Then I'm going to come back and hit your story 3, which is the big long one, guys. Be right back. Okay guys, cutting in, here we go with some moon cycle forecast time. We have a huge lunar event going on in February. This is the third, the trifecta. It started in December, January, and now here we are in February. We get the third huge super new moon, but let's talk about that full moon first because that comes in first. It is a micro full moon, which means it's very small in the sky, but you can still use this energy to get anything out of your life that you don't want there anymore, whether it's a person, whether it's something to do with work or a project you just got to wrap up and get out, anything you need to sell or repurpose or even donate. All that stuff much better placed early in February under that full moon. Adversely, we have that huge new super new moon, that brand new new moon coming in on February the 20th, and this is the greatest opportunity for a while, guys, until August, to bringing in new things into your life. And it doesn't matter what you're trying to manifest, what you're trying to attract. The universe does not care. This could be new love you're trying to bring in. You're trying to do something brand new with health. Let's say you're trying to do something new with work, get a new job, get a new promotion, or anything in between. Like I said, the universe does not care. Using that manifestation power, though, it's going to be very, very strong. Middle of the month, moving toward late into February. February 20 is the key date there, but any time really bracketing around that is key for that. It's any kind of manifestation stuff, guys. You can really attract powerfully right now, and it's the best time to do it because, like I said, we don't get any big lunar activity until August, so this is kind of the last chance for the last dance. Here we go. So moon cycles are a big deal, and if any of this has confused you, or maybe you prefer just a little graphic aid, a little illustration, I put together a moon cycle cheat sheet, and it is always on my website, and it is always free. I have moved what page it's on, though. I'm now doing a page about stuff that I'm talking about page. So things that we're talking about, that's where you can find it, parked at the very top. That is your moon cycle forecast cheat sheet. Got to tell you about new things coming into the shop, too. Make sure you're signed up for the newsletter, because my newsletter people get a couple free things every single year just by being signed up for it. I do giveaways on Facebook, and we want to follow both of those for sure. But let's talk about that new product in the shop. Every month, I unveil a brand new product into the Scott Sagent shop on the website, and this is the month that we are doing another gemstone, and it's going to be tree agate. And this is a wonderful gemstone for February because it brings and attracts love into all of the chakras. It's not just one or two of them. It can bring it into all of them at the same time. Very calm stone too. It works very slowly, but its lasting effects are long. It's basically doing the turtle energy. Slow and steady wins the race, and therefore it is not a strong vibration stone. It is very easy to work with, very calm, very mellow. Even if you've never had a gemstone before or don't work with gemstones, tree agate is a wonderful one for you. And I just love the green and the white, to the fact where I'm showing you pictures here on the screen. I really am giving you two different lighting options here just so you can see it under different lighting, because it is very beautiful. I love how the green and the white swirls together. It reminds me when I'm in an airplane looking down on Mother Earth. The green and the trees fade into just colors eventually, and the green and the white together. Actually, the more green the gemstone is, the more strong it is, and the more white the tree agate is, kind of the more mellow energy it is. So those are both available on the website. Well, I say both because it's available in small and in large. So we got two different sizes of tree agates available now. We got giveaways going on at the same time. We're still giving away the charm gemstone, and that is a random one, but that I'm flashing a picture of that on the screen too. That comes with every purchase of tree agate, or even the tiger's eye from last month. Any gemstone purchase comes with that, and also a little nylon case. You get to choose the color of that. So great stuff on the website every single month. New things, guys. So let's get back to your reading right now. Okay, Pisces, here we go with story 3. A lot of moving parts here. This is going to be a tough one for a general reading, especially with this many major arcana cards. 5 out of 6 are majors. Well, we start with the Chariot card. The Chariot card is inverted, so this could be a car. If this is my transportation card as one definition. So if a car upside down basically means a car in repair, in distress, needs a little effort, needs some energy. Right here in February, okay, that's going to be for some of my audience. For the rest of my audience, well, let me go into the Justice card next, because the Justice card can be about legal. So if maybe, a small bumper, somebody hit your bumper, you got an fender bender, something like that. That would be the Justice card coming in, like the police came in and gave you a little report here, accident report, something like that. The car needs to be repaired, right? So let me give you a different definition, going back to the Chariot again, upside down. This is energy, basically. The Chariot is pulling in two different ways when it's upright, and basically they're talking about honing it in. Here on an invert, they're saying their energy is actually too focused on one thing. And they want you to kind of spread it out a little bit more. So if the card definition doesn't make any sense to you, keep in mind that this reading is for the entire month of February. It might not make sense to you now. It might make sense later, and you could be using a different definition than you expected. But that's a good part about these readings is I leave them up, and you can come back and check them out as you need to. So they're saying the energy actually needs to be more spread out. You guys are getting way too tunnel vision on certain things, and you need to kind of like zoom out a little bit here. And with the Justice card coming in, it can be a card about, like I said, anything legal, anything you put your name on, contracts, signature agreements, any of the anything with, the courts, police, all that kind of stuff can come in. And when justice is upright, usually it's justice in your favor. This is not anything like bad or anything I need to warn you about. Be careful of, running stop signs or something like that. They're speeding. It's usually not that. So this can also be about karma. This can be about your karma coming back to you. So all the good karma you've put out is being returned to you in this situation. Like I said, a lot of moving parts. We also have brand new love coming in there. It's just like, which one doesn't fit? This is the piece that doesn't fit. If it was like one of those things in school, like, well, which one doesn't fit into the group? Well, it's this one. This is like brand new love, and they're just kind of slapping it in here. So what is it that you have brand new love for or want new love with? It's going to be so different for so many of my different Pisces here. I don't want to really kind of guess at what this can be, but let me just give you kind of a couple scenarios as far as you placing it. New love, wherever it pops up, if it's a love corner thing, this can be, if you're already in a relationship, this can be the relationship getting better, moving to the next level. If you're single, new love can mean that there are really good love opportunities here. And the other stuff is information regarding, maybe it's just part of the process, or maybe this is Spirit's way of saying, hey, if you got this car issue, hey, maybe it's time to find a car you love. And we go back to how we talked about a big purchase in story 1. So you can see new love is a broad term, but it comes in and it's a very good thing to see. It's good energy. Now, there is another half of this story, and we move over to this half, a very long story. We have the Hanged Man upside down. This is delayed, hung up energy that is starting to break, starting to shake and rattle open. So things are starting to get moving here. And that is also the messaging for February, because they bring in completion with my World card. This is about things getting wrapped up and, projects getting done or things getting checked off the list. It's a card of completion. Completion is the best word to describe it. We also have the Star card inverted. This basically means that this is all about your choices. It's star on an invert. If it was the other way around, Spirit would be saying, hey, this is just fate. This is just destiny and momentum. Spirit saying, no, this is all about your choices here. So we go back to the choice of love. What is your choice of love? As far as the love corner, as far as love with a car, something love legal going on there. Love legal can also be marriage, and that's making love legal in different ways. So even divorce would be love legal also. So we have all kinds of stuff. Like I said, a lot of moving parts in here. And they go back. I go back to the Star cards, which is the card about your choices. So this is not anything that has to be done. This is all about what you want to be done. And your choices are something that you need to be accountable for. So, hold yourself accountable for the good and the bad as well. We end with gentleness. That is my Angel Oracle card that came in. So this is letting me know that this situation is a little tender. You need to be a little bit gentle with yourself, with other people that are involved in this situation. And if you're here, especially here in this story, definitely surround yourself with people that are also gentle. You don't want to be dealing with toxic people here in story 3 with this situation. You really need to put yourself in good environments around good people, and that's just going to help the situation move to much better, brighter days. So there we go. Good story 3. Good way to wrap that part up, guys. Let's get the rune stone before we do your animal totems. They're already shuffled. Give them one quick swirl, and we're ready to go. Pisces gets this one right here, and of course it is. This is the rune stone, the letter M for movement. We got movement going on, a lot of moving parts. Like I said in story 3, it's nothing but moving parts there. We have moving parts up here with big purchase or, just the high vibe connectivity. We got movement energetically going on, what you're finding peace in. Story 2, we got movement with that fast traveling news. The fast traveling news, there's nothing that moves quicker than that. That is movement. And like I said, there's a million moving parts there in story 3. So I see why the rune stone, of course, is going to be movement today for February, and that's gonna, lots going on, guys, so use it to your advantage. That's what it's all about. So let's grab your animal totems. Like I said, we're doing 2 of those. Alrighty, there's the first one. And I believe I can do that one as well. Let's check my chart because I have so many animal totems. I do not have them all memorized. So our first animal totem is octopus. We're moving out of an octopus and we are moving into out of an octopus and into a lion or lioness. So octopus into lion, well, very, very different. First of all, we go from a very, very versatile, octopus can pick locks and do all these things and get inside shells. And the lion, he can do some things too, but much more limited. So it's less about doing things, I think, right here. Less about the intellect. Octopus also a very smart creature, very intellectual. And also the water difference between water and land. Anytime we have water, whether it's in tarot, whether it's anything in spirituality, basically it refers to emotion. So they want you to pull away from your emotions a little bit here. Of course, that's easier said than done, but that is the trick, is to kind of move into the logical place here, the logical plane in the month of February. Okay, it's going to help you guys out a lot. What else from octopus into lion? Lion, be fierce, be courageous. Do not be afraid. Of course, they said be gentle in story 3. And the lion does have a gentle side. You ever seen it around its cubs? It's pretty gentle there. But, you got to pick your battles. You got to pick when it's time to be gentle and when it's time to fight. And you go after it. And that's what the lion brings. It brings that courageous energy, that lion, lioness energy, moving away from the emotional of the octopus, also the intellect. So don't overthink things. Kind of just, feel it out and keep things more kind of in the logical plane. Keep things more maybe surface level, less about the deeper meanings of life and things like that, and keep it more just kind of plain, everyday energy right in your face here. You guys are high vibration. You guys can make a lot of great things happen in the month of February, and I hope you do such things. If there's anything else that I forgot to talk about from octopus into lion that occurs to me later, I will put that above my head here in the text, but that wraps us up for here, guys. It's been a very interesting reading. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. For my great Pisces, hope you guys have a great February. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future readings, and have a great month.